Chloe gave a coy smile. Oh, please. Why are you comparing me to her? I don't want to catch her ugly disease. I stood outside the door, quietly listening to their conversation, forcibly swallowing my rage while filming their cheating with my phone. For him, I had walked away from a high-paying career at a Chicago tech firm, and this was how he repaid me. They didn't sense anyone outside and kept cooing at each other. I really want to take you home and purify the air in my place in Lincoln Park. I clenched my fists and pushed the door open. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and tell us in the comments where you're listening from. When Liam saw me, panic flickered in his eyes, but he regained his composure almost instantly. Smiling, he walked over. Babe, you're finally here. I've been waiting for the contract folder so we can sign at Sterling Dynamics.
Yeah.
Sis, we've been waiting forever, Chloe chimed in. The two of them sang the same tune, flirting glints still in their eyes. Watching them perform, I didn't expose them on the spot.
Ha!
You enjoy acting, do you? Fine, I'll join the play. I put on an apologetic face and said to my honey, Honey, I'm sorry. I didn't expect so much traffic on Lakeshore Drive. Here, take the contract folder and go sign. I handed him the folder and urged him to hurry. He took it, checked it several times, and only relaxed when he found nothing odd. After a perfunctory peck on my cheek, he left the downtown Chicago office with Chloe without looking back. The next second, I scrubbed the spot he'd kissed with a tissue. The 7 years I'd spent with him flickered through my mind like a movie. I used to laugh at the idea of the 7-year itch. I thought a strong bond could beat it. Turns out even the best love can't outlast 7 years. Evening, I glanced at the wall clock and frowned. It was almost 10. I stared at the doorway of our Lincoln Park condo. No sound came from outside. Was he not coming back at all? Ding, a text alert dragged my gaze from the door. It was from him. Babe, I've got a business dinner in the Loop tonight. Don't wait up. Sleep well and don't overthink. Love you. In the past, those words would have felt sweet, even made me guilty. He was out working hard for us while I lay comfortable at home. But after today, I realized I'd been a total fool to think that. 7 whole years. When had his heart started to stray? I had no idea. That night, I couldn't sleep. In the morning, half asleep, I caught the scent of food drifting into the bedroom. Without opening my eyes, I knew he was back. During our marriage, I believed he loved me deeply. A man who, no matter how late or drunk he came home from downtown meetings, would still get up early and cook breakfast. How could he not love me? Yet that same man had cheated behind my back. After a while I heard him call, Babe, babe. I didn't answer. The bedroom door opened. He carried in a tray, eyes full of love and gentleness. Babe, you're awake. I called outside, but you didn't answer. Thought you were still asleep. I made your favorite creamy spinach and feta omelet. Come on, try it. At that moment I wavered, unwilling to believe he'd betrayed me. I told myself to give him one more chance. He'd only made the mistake every man makes. I shouldn't forget all the good he'd done over the years. But the instant he lovingly spoon-fed me, I spotted the hickey on his neck. It felt like something smashed over my head. My heart clenched in a vice. My hands behind my back balled into fists. A mocking smile tugged at my lips. I jeered at myself. Sophia, the man who loved you is gone. Wake up. Cheating is zero tolerance or infinite. Babe, what's wrong? Are you feeling sick? Noticing my tension, he asked with concern. I took the bowl, swallowed a bite, and shook my head as if nothing was wrong. I'm fine. I skipped dinner last night, so I'm just really hungry. Hearing that, he put on a stern face. Don't joke about your health. Remember, your body is mine. When you get sick, I suffer. Looking at his affectionate expression, I fell into thought.
Ha!
So much for love can't be faked. Here's living proof. Head down. I quietly finished the omelet. The second he stood to leave, I spoke. I want to go back to work. His steps halted. He turned. Babe, we agreed. You handle beauty. I handle the bills. I married you so you could live well, not punch a time clock at some stuffy office. His words stirred no gratitude in me, only nausea. But since we were acting, I'd play my part. I rose, walked over, put on a heart-torn look, and said, Honey, I know you hate the idea, but I want to contribute to our home. Please say yes. Seeing I meant it, he hesitated a few seconds, then nodded. Only if you promise to quit the moment it stops being fun. I promise. On the surface, all was calm. In truth, this was merely the lull before the storm. While he tidied the kitchen, his phone screen lit. I opened it without effort, because the password was still my birthday. Honey, I've already bought that Cartier bracelet for you. Once the old crone signs the walkaway settlement, you'll marry me, right? Stuff. What stuff? Were they actually planning to kill me for the life insurance money? No. Liam cared too much about his reputation. If it ever came to light he'd rot in Cook County Jail for the rest of his life. He would never gamble his life just for money. No matter how hard I racked my brain, I couldn't figure out what they intended to do to me. After that I stopped spending my days cooped up at home, the way he liked to call it, a housemate who's grown permanent roots. I started sending out resumes to firms in downtown Chicago. I went to the spa in Gold Coast. I dressed myself up to the nines. Each time he came home, the first thing he saw wasn't me, but an empty living room. And after searching every room, he still wouldn't find me. Today was my second day at the new job, at Yates Industries, Sterling Dynamics' biggest competitor. It was already 8 at night, and I still hadn't gone home. Eventually he called. Concern saturated his voice. "Babe, it's so late. Where are you? Why aren't you back?" I glanced at the stack of documents towering over my head and answered absently. "Oh, I'm pulling overtime at the company. Don't wait up." But I hung up before he could finish. A second later a text popped up. "Babe, you don't have to work so hard. I can take care of you. The more I stared at those words, the icier my face became. Take care of me, while stabbing me in the back. I didn't reply. Every evening, right around the time I should have been heading home, I either stayed at the office or went out to eat and drink in River North, anything but go back to the condo. Little by little he sensed something was off. Tonight, the moment I walked in after work, he yanked me into his arms, kissing me and whining. "Babe, don't you love me anymore?" I wanted to shove him away, but I swallowed my disgust and cooed. "Honey, you're the one I love most. After I get through this busy stretch, I'll spend a few whole days with you in Michigan." He pinned me to the wall, sullen, throat bobbing. "Babe, how long has it been? I miss you." The thought of him rolling in the sheets with another woman made me feel filthy. I pushed him away at once and gave an awkward smile. I've got my period." Right then my phone rang inside my purse. Spotting Maya's name, my college roommate from Northwestern, I curved my lips, deliberately flicked my eyes toward him, then trotted onto the balcony to answer. I laughed and joked with her, keeping my voice loud enough for him to hear. From where he stood it looked like I was flirting. I didn't hang up until half an hour later. The instant I slid the balcony door open, he stormed over, face livid, as if I'd cheated on him. "Sophia, who were you talking to?" I brushed past him, pretending not to notice his anger. "Who I call is none of your business." Without so much as a glance I headed straight for the bedroom. My indignation ignited his. He kicked the door wide and roared, "Sophia, are you seeing some guy behind my back?" He seized my wrist. Smack. I slapped him across the face, eyes shining with disappointment and hurt. "Liam, what the hell? 7 years together, and this is what you think of me?" Tears welled up as I stared at him. For a split second he realized he'd gone too far. He dropped to his knees, face full of remorse. "Babe, I'm sorry. I just love you too much. Forgive me." I jumped to conclusions. I stood frozen for a few seconds, then wiped my tears and switched from crying to smiling, though I deliberately turned away. I'll let it go this once." He still sounded uneasy. "Babe, who were you really talking to? Other than you. The only person I know here is Maya. Who else would it be?" Hearing it was Maya, he instantly relaxed, seeing his guard drop. I added sweetly, "Honey, Maya asked me out to a bar in Wicker Park. We'll probably have a few drinks. Can I go?" He agreed without hesitation. "It's been ages since you hung out with Maya. Go have fun." Fighting back my disgust, I flung my arms around his neck and pecked his cheek. "Honey, you're the best." Just as I was about to step out, he yanked me back. "You can't go out barefaced. Go put on some makeup." "Sure." An hour later I was all dolled up and cheerfully out the door. The moment the door clicked shut I heard him on the phone. "Chloe, the old crone's out with her friend. Come over to the condo. Bring that bottle of wine I like." That night, Maya and I skipped the bar and checked into the Marriott Marquis Chicago downtown. I laid out every detail of his affair. "What? That bastard cheated. Come on, I'll beat the crap out of him." Maya shot to her feet in fury. I caught her arm and soothed her temper. "Don't rush. I've already cooked up the perfect revenge." I whispered a long plan into her ear. 10 minutes later she gave me a huge thumbs up. "Sophia, you've gotten smart." I opened the feed from the pinhole cam I'd installed yesterday. Sure enough, Chloe had arrived. The two were having a merry romp. If I hadn't stopped her, Maya would have dashed to my place and murdered them on the spot. Watching her boil, I shook my head resignedly. Patience. I'm preparing a special gift for those lovebirds. Maya saw my wicked grin and pressed me eagerly for the next step, but I toyed with her and kept my mouth shut. 1 a.m. Maya and I, pretending to be drunk off our feet, staggered home. The instant I opened the door I spotted a pair of crimson stilettos by the entryway, Chloe's. We deliberately made a racket, slurring words and laughing loudly. The pair inside the bedroom heard us. The door flew open, and when they saw me their eyes nearly popped out of their heads. "Babe," he called to me, trying to sound innocent. Maya and I clung to each other, acting as though we hadn't heard a thing. Then Liam grabbed a glass of water from the counter, slipped a pill into it, and approached. "Sophia, you're wasted. Drink this to sober up. Before I could resist, he pried my mouth open and fed me the spiked water. He pulled out his phone and said to whoever was on the other end, "The drug's down. Remember what I told you to do? Meet us at the condo in 10 minutes. Maya and I were carried into the bedroom. Half an hour later, a flurry of footsteps came from outside. A few minutes after that, 2 men in hoodies walked in. The money's transferred via Venmo. Have your fun, and make sure you get it on video," Liam said coldly. A sleazy male voice I didn't recognize replied, "Easy cash and 2 hot chicks. Can't lose. Don't worry, we'll handle this perfectly." In truth, Maya and I had spit out the pill the second Liam turned away. The instant the door clicked shut, we tensed, ready to act. Just as the men moved to assault us, Maya and I snapped our eyes open. In that second, the men's faces went white. I whispered, "Make a sound and I call the cops." 911's already dialed. The threat sent panic across their faces. At once they climbed off the bed like good little boys. I took out my phone, thumbs flying, then showed them the message I'd typed. "Light the knockout incense you brought and slide it outside. Then film Liam and Chloe. By sunrise, I want that clip all over Twitter and Instagram." Relax. They won't dare touch you. They hesitated a few beats after reading, thinking it over. I knew what scared them. I murmured, "There are pinhole cams in this room. Every word, every move is being recorded. Do exactly as I say and tonight never happened. Otherwise." I let the sentence hang. They caught my drift. Each gave a reluctant nod. I flicked a look at Maya. She caught it instantly. Who are you? Stay back. Please, don't come any closer. Then I slurred, "Honey, is that you?" My head spinning. The men eyed us, lit the knockout incense they'd prepared, and slipped it under the door into the living room. 10 minutes later, the shameless moans of Liam and Chloe floated in from outside. Just to be safe, I asked the nearest guy, "How strong is that stuff?" He couldn't meet my eyes. "Heavy duty. We could march through the living room and they wouldn't notice." "Perfect. All right. Go do your job." Maya smirked and asked softly, "Sophia, you okay?" "Fine." Half an hour passed. We were forced to listen to every second of those 2 cheaters' performance. Maya's rage built until she grabbed a chair, ready to storm out. "Sophia, let me go smash those lowlifes." I held her back, stone-faced. "Don't dirty your hands." By rights I should have been heartbroken, yet I felt nothing. It was as if the man cheating outside weren't my honey at all. Only I understood why. I was simply cold. When they finished, Liam and Chloe drifted off in each other's arms. The men they'd hired sent me the footage, shifting awkwardly, wanting to speak. I knew what they needed. "Don't worry, I keep my word." I transferred the promised cash to their Venmo accounts. Next morning, dawn had barely broken when my bedroom door swung open. Liam peered in, guilt written on his face. "Babe." "What's wrong, honey?" I rubbed sleep-heavy eyes and slowly sat up. Ding, my phone on the nightstand chimed. I reached for it automatically, but he snatched it faster. "Robocall." "Babe, don't fall for it." Just then Maya, still under the blanket, Jack in the boxed upright. She waved her phone. "Sophia, look what's trending on Twitter." The second I leaned over to see, he grabbed her phone too, forcing a smile. "You two drank so much you must feel awful. I made blueberry pancakes. Come freshen up." Maya and I knew exactly why he was rattled. The clip had hit the web overnight, racking up thousands of views, but that alone wasn't enough. He hurried out, back stiff with panic. We kept our knowing looks to ourselves. An hour later, dishes cleared. He said, "Babe, I'm off to the office. Rest up." He reached for his car keys. I caught his arm. "Honey, I'll ride with you. I have an acquisition contract to discuss at Sterling Dynamics today." Shock flooded his eyes. "Contract? What contract could you have with my company?" I only smiled. Some things are more fun left unsaid. Maya waved us off. "I'll disappear. Don't want to crash the married couple vibes." 30 minutes later, the moment he parked outside Sterling's downtown Chicago headquarters, a crowd surged forward, faces twisted with fury. Before he could react, a rotten egg splattered across his cheek. A middle-aged woman in the pack yelled, "Shameless. You bring your mistress into your own condo. What's wrong with you? Can't appreciate the wife you have. Always sniffing after more." I kept my head down, a secret smile tugging at my lips. Maya's PR handiwork, flawless as ever. I widened my eyes at him. "Honey, what are they saying?" "Mistress?" The woman started to answer. He clapped his hands over my ears and hauled me through the mob. "Once clear," he urged. "Babe, don't you have that contract meeting? You'd better not be late." Classic attempt to send me away. "All right, I'm going." I glanced back from a distance. Liam covered in rotten eggs and soggy lettuce, pinned on the ground by the angry crowd. The sight lifted my spirits sky high. "Liam, just hold yourself together." 3 days later, his boss and I finally signed the acquisition contract. contract. Knock knock. Come in. When Liam saw me, surprise flickered across his face. After all, he'd always complained that his boss was impossible to please, and I'd quietly fixed most of his project issues for him over the years. The chairman, however, had no idea I was his wife. He simply looked at me with open admiration and waved Liam over. Liam, come here. Let me introduce you. This is Sophia Carter. From now on, you'll coordinate directly with her. You young people should get to know each other. I played along, a faint smile curling my lips. Chairman, no introduction needed. He's my husband. The admiration in the chairman's eyes cooled into dissatisfaction aimed at Liam, though he swallowed it fast. Liam, if your wife is this brilliant, why haven't you brought her on board sooner? Chairman, I cut in before he could finish, sweetening the blade. Chairman, you're too kind. My husband always says I'm only good at housework, so I came out to prove him wrong at Yates Industries. Liam's fingers pinched my waist, a silent order to shut up. I obeyed instantly, switching to polite corporate speak. Chairman, I look forward to working together. I should head back to Yates and report. Head high, I strode out of the chairman's office. The instant the door clicked shut behind me, I heard a crash. Liam had knocked over a vase. Whatever it takes. Get your wife into this company, otherwise you can pack your desk tomorrow, the chairman roared. The firm I joined, Yates Industries, held the patent for a new manufacturing process that Sterling Dynamics desperately needed. Without it, their upcoming product line would fail. That night, the moment he walked through the door, he wrapped around me, brushing tender kisses across my forehead. Babe, why didn't you tell me you were going to Yates? You know we're up against them. I shoved him away, fury icing my voice. Liam, you said I was useless. Now I'm proving you wrong. What's the crime in that? Seeing my anger, he reached for my hand, voice softening. Babe, you've misunderstood. I'm not belittling you. I just don't want you exhausted. Quit Yates. Come to Sterling. We'd be together every day. I didn't even hesitate. No, I pulled free, face blank, and headed for the guest room. Ever since I'd learned about his affair, I'd slept there. The only reason I'd stayed in our bedroom that one night was to gather hard evidence. Thinking about it still turned my stomach. He caught my wrist, confusion clouding his eyes. Babe, what's gotten into you lately? I tried to keep up the act, but I couldn't anymore. I jerked my hand away, revulsion sharp. Nothing. I've simply seen things clearly. I'm tired. I'm going to rest. As he started to follow, I snapped without looking back. Don't. Bang. The guest room door slammed between us. Next morning, he tapped on the guest room door. Babe, time to get up. I ignored him. When I finally emerged, breakfast was laid out, every dish I used to love. Now the sight left me cold. Nothing touched me. I glanced at the table, expression unreadable, then walked to the shoe rack. Don't bother cooking anymore. I'm sick of it. Before the words had fully registered, I was gone, on the commute to Yates. I called Maya. Girl, can you blast the full footage? Company-wide at Sterling, ideally straight to the chairman, without breaking a single law. Silence hummed on the line. Then, voice sparkling with venom, she promised. Honey, Liam the bastard stepped out on you. Leave it to me. I'll send it via the company's internal email and CC every department head. Love you, sis. That night, Liam came home and reached for his habitual hug. I'd turned him down for days. This time I sidestepped, disgust naked in my eyes. Liam, let's divorce. Babe, what? His hands froze midair, shock widening his eyes. I was done talking. I thumbed my phone open to the leaked footage blazing across social media and shoved the screen at him. Why? You dare ask why? After everything I've given you, quitting my dream job, supporting you through law school, building this life together, this is how you repay me. You like wildflowers so much? Fine. I'll let you pick them forever. You should thank me. Panic flashed. He dropped to his knees without thinking. Babe, no. This is deep fake. Someone's framing me. You're the only one in my heart. I kicked him away. Liam, do I look stupid to you? A laugh scraped my throat. A man who's dirted himself means nothing to me. Be out of my Lincoln Park condo by tomorrow. I pulled the already prepared divorce decree from my bag and slapped it against his chest. Voice flat. We shared a bed once. You can stay tonight. Babe, a single icy glare sliced his plea in half. Shut up. That word's nauseating, no matter how he stammered. I didn't spare him another glance. That night I lay awake, plans crystallizing. A plain divorce was too cheap. By dawn I had my next move. Early next morning his gentle voice drifted through the door again. Babe, breakfast is ready. Ha! He assumed a night's sleep had cooled my anger. In his eyes, I was still the hopeless housewife who'd believed the video was fake. He had no idea I'd commissioned every frame myself. I opened the door. His eyes lit up. Babe, I knew you believed me. My gaze skimmed past him. Cold. Did you sign? He leaned back, hit the wall, and stammered in disbelief. Babe, you're joking, right? Just then his phone rang. It was the chairman, his face drained to paper white. Chairman, let me explain. What you saw isn't real. Babe and I are great. Ask her yourself. The next second he shoved the handset to my ear, eyes pleading. I didn't take it. I simply looked at him. Sign, and I'll help. He hesitated, then scrawled his name across the divorce decree with reluctant strokes. Fine, I'd play the good wife. Chairman, this is a long story. Why don't we come to headquarters and clear it up right now? Before he could finish, the chairman barked. Liam, do you have any idea how many partners are demanding compensation because of the scandal? If this isn't fixed by noon, you'll personally cover every dollar. We're talking millions. The line went dead. Terror flooded his face. Babe, you have to save me. I answered lazily. Sure, we're still married. After all, he sprang up, grateful tears shining. Babe, I'll treat you right from now on. We'll go to Hawaii, just like you've always wanted. Huh, treat me right. I wasn't that gullible anymore. 1 hour later, we pulled up to Sterling Dynamics. The instant we stepped through the doors, the chairman stormed over, face livid. Liam, behind him stood a knot of furious partners and investors. I walked forward slowly, eyes glistening with rehearsed sorrow. Directors, investors, I never meant our private mess to reach you. I'll give everyone an explanation today. Liam, still thinking I was on his side, shot me a look of pure gratitude. Then I shoved him off the cliff. Actually, yes, you saw correctly. Liam cheated throughout our 7-year marriage. Not just once, but repeatedly. Gasps erupted. Liam's face contorted. Sophia, what the hell are you saying? I speed dialed Maya. The room stared, bewildered. 20 minutes later, Maya strode in with the 2 hired men from that night. Liam's confidence crumbled the second he recognized them. I nodded at the men. Tell them. They glanced at Liam, raised a bullhorn, and announced. Liam paid us $5,000 each to drug Sophia, told us to assault her and film it, said he wanted leverage for the divorce. Here are the Venmo transfers from him and his mistress Chloe Bennett. We never touched the money. And we never harmed Sophia. Screens in the conference room lit up. Payment slips, call logs, and, surprise, a full audio recording of Liam ordering the attack. Then one of the men dialed 911. Directors and partners seethed. An idea struck me. Gentlemen, perhaps you'd like to consider partnering with Yates Industries instead. We have the manufacturing capabilities you need, and no scandals to clean up. Every face turned calculating. No rush. But I suggest the chairman audit Liam thoroughly. You might uncover some unauthorized bonuses and expense reports. I'd spotted the red flags in his work emails days earlier. Maybe my dig pushed him over the edge. Sophia, you bitch. You set me up. If I go down, you go down with me. He lunged, fists flying. Smack. I slapped him. That's for betrayal. He froze, stunned. Smack. And that's so we'll never share the same road again. 10 minutes later, the Chicago PD officers cuffed him. As they guided him into the cruiser, he finally wept. Babe, I'm sorry. She seduced me. Every man slips. Give me one more chance. I'll be good to you. We followed to the Cook County Jail. 3 hours later, the verdict. My part was self-defense and gathering evidence, not criminal. The hired men confessed before any assault occurred. They were fined $5,000 each and detained 15 days. As for Liam, investigations uncovered a sewer of crimes. He and Chloe had sold Sterling Dynamics trade secrets to a competitor in Detroit, embezzled $2.3 million in company funds to fund their affair, including Chloe's Cartier bracelet and trips to Miami, and conspired to assault me. Corporate espionage plus embezzlement plus attempted assault earned them each 10 years in federal prison. When I left the jail, they glared at me with hatred. I offered one line: play stupid games, win stupid prizes. 1 month later, the 60-day cooling-off period ended because he'd cheated and committed felonies. The judge ordered a walkaway settlement. He got nothing. No condo, no savings, no assets. The thought of him leaving prison with empty pockets made me giddy. I checked my balance. My share of the condo sale and the bonus from Yates' acquisition deal had added a few fresh million, and called Maya. Girl, pack a suitcase. We're flying to the Florida Keys for 2 weeks. On it. At last I had money, freedom, and zero chores. Yates Industries even promoted me to director of strategy, an elevation I'd never dared dream of when I was stuck as a housewife. Turns out life without a cheating man is an upgrade. Had I known what he was, I'd never have walked down that aisle. But it's never too late to rewrite the ending. I'll just chalk those years up to tuition paid to a stray dog. From here on, every tomorrow is mine, happy ever after. Thanks for listening to today's story. If you liked this video, smash like and share it with friends. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more tales. See you next episode.